I want to talk about something called the Black Diamond.
It's an ice cream made from very rare ingredients, the black truffles we use, one of the finest vanilla pods. And why is it called the Black Diamond is because
How do you roast the coffee in your house? And also 500 kilos.
500 kilos is not a lot of coffee. I used to roast in pans. I didn't know any of the challenges.
What's next on the horizon for you? I know that you're also expanding to India and other markets. Welcome back to the Chef JKP Podcast. Now, this time we're going to talk about coffee meets ice cream. Yes, and not just any coffee and ice cream. Today on the show, recorded live at Time Out Market Dubai, I'm joined by two artisans who know their craft inside out. Orit from Boon Coffee and Zubin from Scoopi. We get into the beans of origins, roasting profiles, and why your morning cup matters more than you think. Then Zubin jumps into tales of luxury, desserts, and golden ice cream. That's right, you heard it here first. So, zip it, scoop it, savor it. Time to rock and roll. Welcome to the Chef JKP Podcast live with me, James Knight-Paccheco. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have two incredible people who have got their amazing restaurants right here. So please give a very, very warm time-out welcome on stage to Orit and Zubin. Please come on. Hello guys, very warm welcome. Take a seat, get comfy. We're gonna strap you in. So just as you're getting ready, just to give a little introduction. So Orit, you're the founder of beautiful Boon Coffee. And Zubin, you're the founder of Scoopi.
absolutely.
All of these, so, coffee and ice cream. This is a match made in heaven, to be honest. So, first of all, Orit, let's go to you. How much, in your childhood story, did coffee play?
Well, I'm Ethiopian, so it was a big part of our growing up family gathering. So coffee was a big part of our culture for almost all Ethiopians, and particularly in my house because there was 6 daughters. So we're always making coffee, roasting coffee, drinking, and criticizing coffee.
So with the 6 daughters, who was the most competitive from all of your sisters?
All of us.
All
of us. It's six girls and my mom, so we're always talking about who made the best coffee.
So then when you talk to your family now, what did you say? Well, actually, I've won the competition.
100%. I should have won. I told them I knew better.
I mean, yeah, it's serious, right? And Zubin, for you, when did you decide to sort of start playing around and wanting ice cream in your life? Because everybody's got a sweet tooth, but to sort of go into business with ice cream is quite full on.
So the story is, I saw the technology of making liquid nitrogen ice cream in Bangkok for the first time. It was just a family trip. And from there, the idea came out. And so it was never about the whole restaurant to create. The liquid nitrogen ice cream was a concept, was just a part of the whole gastronomy world. And from there, I just picked it up and I learned it myself. There's no food background I come from. So me and my family, we are from oil and gas industry. So we're into fire business. And from there, I get into liquid nitrogen ice cream, as in the food part. So, yeah.
So then let's take that into context with ice cream, first of all. So you're not originally from hospitality.
Absolutely not.
Right?
Yeah.
So then you wanted to have this incredible ice cream. I want to understand the moment in Bangkok when you had this ice cream and it sort of blew your mind. Talk to me and tell me about that experience.
So it's a restaurant over there. It's called Guggins. I'm sure you've heard of it. And I think this was in 2013 where I saw this. Where you normally order ice cream like just the one last scoop of ice cream in a restaurant, right? So the guy comes in with a whole trolley and pours in nitrogen, makes the ice cream in front of me. So that whole experience blew me away, and that made me think that okay, this is something which Dubai or UAE doesn't have it, and I wanted to do something on my own, not join the family business, because wanted to be somewhere independent and create something on my own. So that's when the whole journey of Scoopi started. And then from there, I went to Orlando, learned it over there. For 3 months, I was there. And then I came back to Dubai. And 2014, we started the journey of Scoopi.
So then tell me about your journey in Orlando. Why did you decide to go to the US and learn about ice cream and working with something like liquid nitrogen? Because it's quite dangerous.
It is quite dangerous, to be honest, in the start, till you don't get your hands on it. So Orlando just happened. I was searching online, how can I do this, what's to be done. So I found a guy's name, Chef Ralph Fransland. So he lives in Orlando. So he was the only one who used to make these. So he had a food truck making liquid nitrogen ice cream over there. So I emailed him, he said, yes, you can come down. So I went to him, I learned it from him. So I was there for 3 months. I lived with him in his house for 3 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that's all the story is. And so Orlando was a beautiful journey because it was new for me. The person was new. I was new to him. It turned out to be a good family. And then I learned how to make ice cream. I was very fortunate that he gave me everything he had for God knows what reason, but he gave me his technology. He told me how can I do this. He taught me everything from scratch, A to Z, and then and things went on after that.
Phenomenal. Now, Orit, for you, when you first decided to go for it in business and have Boon Coffee come to life, what would you say at the time was the sort of biggest cultural or business challenge that you encountered here?
Well, when I started Boon Coffee, it was 12 years ago. It was just as a roaster, and it really was about finding good coffee. It was nothing about, I didn't think it was going to be a big business. I thought it was going to be something small that I can handle while I was a stay-home mom. So while I was raising the kids, something I could do just to have really good coffee. That was my aim. So it was never about starting a business. So it grew very gradually. So the first batch of coffee I brought was 500 kilos. So it was in my house, and I was asking people to roast. And
So how do you roast the coffee in your house? And also 500 kilos.
that's 500 kilos is not a lot of coffee. But I used to roast in pans at home in Ethiopia. Everybody does. But I realized that, drum roasting was very different. So I actually took classes to do drum roasting, but was doing, it was really small business. So I think not knowing helped because I didn't know anybody. I was in an F&B in Dubai. I was at home with the kids. So it was almost like I didn't know any of the challenges. So starting the business, getting the name or, registering it took a while because until I figured it out, and selling took 2 years. To sell to somebody took 2 years because before then maybe the moms in the playground or something would help me out and buy 1 kilo or 2 kilo. That's it.
So, and where did the name come from? Because it's quite unique.
Well, I thought so too, but Boon, I'm Ethiopian, but from the east part of Ethiopia, Harar, where it means coffee. So Boon Coffee actually means coffee, but it's also, so it was the first place coffee was traded in the world. So I think that name kind of traveled to the rest of part of the world too. But in Arabic, Old Arabic, the beans is also called bun. And then in English, bun is a blessing, right? Prosperity. And in Dutch, it means beans. I didn't know any of this. I just named it because it's my native language.
Because also, I want to understand is that, you built up such a beautiful brand, and I understand that it's taken a long time for it to be
Yeah.
established. But one thing I want to understand is when you say and I'm talking 10 years ago.
Yes.
When you say good coffee, what does that mean exactly? Because you've got a lot of coffee connoisseurs, people who understand. But when you say good coffee, let's get into the specifics.
Okay. So, me drinking a lot of coffee and growing up, I knew what coffee should taste like. But when I first came here, there were none of the local roasters. There were a couple of local roasters. Raw was here, Coffee Planet was here. But it wasn't a lot of roasters that were here doing local coffees. So most of the coffees at that time were coming back from Europe and being sold in the multinational cafes, which was fine, but I thought that the taste of the coffee was lost. So I drink black coffee. So a lot of the coffee was made for a lot of sugar and milk because a lot of people drank that kind of coffee.
Right.
So so I wanted to have nice black coffee. And I knew that sourcing it, especially Ethiopia being so close to Dubai, it did not make sense to me that coffee wasn't coming directly to Dubai. There were a lot of coffee coming back from everywhere in the world except from the source close by, like Ethiopia.
So then, when you first started, getting the coffee done and all that kind of stuff, and you opened your first shop, how did the locals, take it? Because they also love coffee. Of course, it's in their blood. Did you have any disputes with any of the locals about the taste of the different coffees?
At that time, a lot of locals liked coffee local way. So the roast was very different from the international types of coffee. I had a lot of conflict with a lot of people who drank dark roast coffee, like Italians.
Those cheeky Italians, yes.
But a lot of people just didn't understand coffee. Really, at that time, it was the beginning of the movement here. But the rest of the world was already catching up, sourcing from origin and roasting, small roasters. But at the beginning, it was kind of challenging. I had to literally sell the whole country of Ethiopia to convince people to taste the coffee.
But it works now.
Everybody,
it paid off,
yes,
right?
100%.
Now, Zubin, for you, there's something here that some people may or may not know, and I want to talk about something called the black diamond. Now, can you explain to everyone what this specific ice cream is, please?
So the black diamond ice cream, it's an ice cream made from very rare ingredients, which is found. One is the black truffles we use. We use one of the finest vanilla pods, which is really, really expensive. We use the saffron, which is not processed. So there are certain saffrons in the market. You put it in, you'll leave the yellow color out. But this usually doesn't do that. It just gives you the taste because it's not processed at all. And of course, we use the edible gold, which is 23 karat. And it is served in a Versace bowl with a silver spoon. And why is it called the black diamond is because the black truffle is called the diamond of the gastronomy. And the idea of this ice cream came up when I was in New York, when I saw the $1,000 ice cream in Serendipity. And that's where the whole generation and the creation of the black diamond ice cream came up with.
Okay, so let me just get this clear in my chef's brain, right? So the black diamond is truffle,
Black truffles,
right? Saffron,
saffron,
Madagascan vanilla,
Madagascar vanilla pods,
which is expensive, and the the gold leaf.
the gold leaves.
23 carat.
Yeah, so we use gold leaves and the gold sheets. So you get a sprinkle of gold leaves. So this is really, really minute. It's not a gold dust, but it's gold leaves. And then we put the gold sheet on the top.
And this is churned with, or it's done, how do you make it?
So everything is infused step by step. So first goes the vanilla. So we churn the vanilla, leave it for some time. Then we put in the truffles. So we have to make sure the truffle gets infused perfectly because we don't want the bites to come into your mouth. We only want the taste to come into your mouth. And the saffron, of course. So the saffron sticks should be seen. I don't crush them. put it as a whole, and the saffron should come to your mouth because the taste, it's made instantly over there, but somehow all three come really good together, and they make a really good taste out.
Okay, so let's talk about business, right? You're a businessman. Those ingredients are extremely expensive.
Yeah.
Then you had to develop this flavor. How long did it take the development process for it to be perfect?
Black Diamond took about almost 6 to 7 months to develop it out because it was not easy to source it out, firstly. Because first, I don't come from the food background or the hospitality. So for me, myself, to understand what truffle is, how would saffron go with vanilla, vanilla would go with truffle. So that mix and match took a lot of time. And then we had to serve it in something great. So, of course, we know Versace as a brand to wear clothes, but I had no idea. I was just 21 years old when I started Scoopi. So I had no idea that it comes with a cutlery as a home kind of a thing as well. So, yeah, so understood that first, understood how to serve it, make it. Saving the ingredients was the biggest problem because I just can't leave it out in the restaurant or the cafe just like that because it's expensive ingredients.
Of course.
Yeah, so that was a bigger challenge. And to talk to the people who I used to buy it from and tell them, so this one place here called the Gourmet House, so they do a fantastic job when it comes to saffron. And so the owner taught me that, okay, this is how you're supposed to use it. Because I come from India. A lot of saffron gets used in India. But it's usually, at night people drink it with milk or something like that, or in sweets, in Indian sweets. It's just as a sprinkle on the top. But never used as an ice cream flavor with black truffles. So that was the challenge for me.
And just for me to understand, is it seasonal or people can buy it everywhere? Do they pre-order? How does it work?
So it works. So for now, of course, we don't sell it sure at timeout. So it's still on. You have to message us on the Scoopi Instagram page or email us. You tell us, we'll come into your residence or to your hotel room if you're visiting Dubai, and we make it in front of you or in front of your guest, and we serve it to you over there.
And how much is it?
It's for 3,000 dirhams.
So 3,000 dirhams for how much?
So it's about 275 grams for an ice cream scoop. So it's the most expensive ice cream scoop in the world, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then, Orit, for you, when you first came to Time Out Market Dubai, what was the type of menu that you had to curate for, being in one of the most gastronomic cities in the world?
Well, coffee, but the Time Out, it was the first place we did nitro coffee because Time Out is a lot of night time besides the weekend. So we had to adjust to have coffee that was more cold drink, and a lot of people in Time Out drink a lot more cold coffee.
So a lot of cold brew,
exactly.
V60 over ice, things
Yes,
like this.
and the nitro is still, this is the only place Boon has all the nitro coffee. So it is, and it does well here. It does in other places, but the vibe here is perfect for that.
So then what's the one go-to coffee that everyone has to try? If I've never been here before and you're telling me, look, this is a must, what's the one?
Well, if you ask me, I'm always having the black Americano, but here the cold brew does really well. The cold brew is really good. We use
and the beans, are they Arabica, Ethiopian, which ones?
most of my beans are still Ethiopia because I still have connection with the farmers in Ethiopia, so it's the best sourcing for me. But we do now have other origins, but we specialize in Ethiopian coffee. But the cold brew here, it is Kaffa, grade 1. So Kaffa coffee comes from where the first place coffee was actually discovered, the Kaffa region.
Kaffa coffee.
Yeah, Kaffa. It's a forest coffee. So it's, and it's natural, it's wild coffee. So it's one of the best coffee you can have.
Zubin,
It's not as expensive as the black
I was
diamond.
going to say, is it as expensive as the black diamond?
No. Not,
I think you should start thinking about it, no?
I'm thinking, please put the saffron and the truffle in the coffee, maybe.
You can make it the avocado, right?
Yes.
Well, of course. And for yourself, if there's a guest coming and for the first time ever, they're coming to Scoopi and they want to try the incredible ice creams, what's the one that they have to try?
So I would say to try the Madagascar vanilla because I think vanilla ice cream is something which is, it looks very simple, but it's really complicated to make it. It's not so easy to do it because everything else is, of course, flavoring. When it comes to strawberry, mango, pistachio, of course, you need to source the right ingredients for everything to make it taste right. But my personal favorite is the Madagascar vanilla ice cream because it's one of the finest. It took a lot of time to make it, but it's one of the finest ice creams, according to me, sold at Scoopi. And that's what we sell the most as well.
So, because also, just to let you know, and it's an insight I don't tell many people, but I love vanilla. Vanilla for me as a chef is one of my favorite things. So if I'm going to a restaurant, it's not necessarily that I'm going to try vanilla ice cream, but I'll do a brulee.
Yeah.
But vanilla brulee, just to make sure it's technical.
Correctly done.
And especially Madagascan vanilla, it's one of the most luxurious and expensive and beautiful premium ingredients in the world. So to know that you have such things here is quite incredible.
Yeah, of course. It's time out market Dubai. So, and being in Dubai, you have to have the greatest ingredients because people understand food here. People travel a lot, so they've been around the world. They've seen a lot of things. So to serve the best, you have to. If you want the best, you have to give the best. So.
And how often do you change the flavors here?
So my 12 flavors stay the same. Nothing changes in that. They've been there for the last 10 years on the menu. But we have a lot of specialities coming in and going out. Like we have banana foster. Like recently I developed a chocolate chili ice cream. Chocolate chili ice cream, which is something really great. I did a strawberry cheesecake, but it's not a regular cheesecake. It's a deconstructed one of it.
Nice.
So it's made, you can see that I'm actually making it live in front of you, the strawberry cheesecake.
Wow.
Then we have the classic banana foster, which we're reinventing now. We used to have that. We're getting back that now. We used to, I'm coming back again with the avocado ice cream, which is avocado, raspberry, Mexican chili, served with chocolate-coated Doritos. So, yeah.
And Orit, for yourself, can I just ask, what excites you about the dining and the coffee scene generally in this region?
Well, since COVID, everybody has become an expert in coffee. So actually, I'm always happy to see that people know more about coffee because they can appreciate our work. So the more the people know, the better it is. And since COVID, everybody is a barista. Everybody has become a barista.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, during COVID, everybody became a chef, a baker, banana bread lover. There was a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a lot.
There was a lot.
So then, look, if we come to the quick fire questions, first of all, Orit, I'm going to start with you. Quick fire. I think I know this one. Espresso or cold brew?
Espresso.
Espresso?
Espresso.
I thought you were going to say cold brew.
No! I like hot things.
Mango sorbet or pistachio and praline?
Pistachio, for sure.
This is for both of you, the next one. Launch day adrenaline or calm cafe mornings? Which one of the two, Orit?
What's the first choice?
Adrenaline of opening day.
Adrenaline of opening day. All the time.
And for you?
Same thing, the opening day.
Adrenaline.
Adrenaline, yeah.
All right. Now, this is again for both of you. Would you like to create something perfect or do you like to keep things classic?
I would say classic.
Classic?
Classic, yeah.
You like to keep things classic?
Classic, yeah.
No, I want to create something perfect.
Okay. Most underrated flavor? That was a tricky one.
That's a very tricky one.
That's a tricky one.
Most underrated flavor, I think the Oreo cookie.
Oh,
Oreo cookie ice cream, yeah.
Oreo cookies. Orit, do you like Oreo cookies?
I have 3 boys. They only have Oreo cookie ice cream.
You know what you should do? Get this black diamond mixed with the Oreo cookies, right?
No way!
Boom.
No way.
Nice, huh? Next one. What's your guilty pleasure that you want to put on the menu?
I want to put in my
Guilty pleasure that you like that you think you'd want to put on the menu.
the gold cappuccino.
Very good. And Zubi, for you?
I would introduce the black diamond at timeout, for sure.
Now, Orit, as we wrap up, what's the next big move for Boon Coffee? What's next on the horizon for you?
Just to open more cafes. We're opening more cafes now. We're growing. This was just I thought 12 years ago, it was a very small business. So to see us growing and having so many cafes, it's great. It's great. To have a brand, at least, it's great.
And Zubin, for you, I know that you're also expanding to India and other markets. And how is that going?
So yes, we're expanding. We're opening another cafe in Abu Dhabi very soon. Dubai, I don't want to compete with myself. It's okay. Timeout has one. Let it be one. And we're expanding in India very soon. I think down the line, 3 months. We're planning to open about 16 cafes in India.
Wow.
Yeah. So Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore. Those are the 3 cities we're targeting as of now. And the work is started. We are just waiting for the signing of the contracts and everything. And then, yeah. So India is the big thing as of now.
So the last question. As you know, we've got a lot of young entrepreneurs. Dubai is a fast and furious business, foodie, entrepreneurial city. What is the one piece of advice you would give to those entrepreneurs who want to open in a place like Dubai? Orit.
Focus. Because a lot of young entrepreneurs tend to try everything at the same time. And, it took me 2 years to learn how to roast perfectly. So it's not about making quick bucks or making quick money, but if you focus and you perfect your whatever you are going after, it would work. It might not be fast overnight, but in the long run, it will pay off. So start. A lot of people talk about starting businesses, but it's a lot of talk. So you have to actually do the initial work of starting something.
For you, Zubin?
So I would only say is first have a clear concept. Make sure you focus on that. Be control on your cash flow for sure, because this city can get you off if you don't control on your cash flow.
Yeah.
Second is location, and make sure that your purpose of getting into that industry, for example, food or opening a restaurant, make sure your purpose is correct. And it's going to take time. Not everything you won't make money right away. It's going to take at least 2 to 3 years. And that's your testing time of there where your concept is clear, your basics and your work ethics are clear. And then you can go ahead.
Well, thank you very much to the both of you for taking the time to be here on the Chef JKP podcast at Time Out Market. The first time ever we have done this. Ladies and gents, please give a huge round of applause to Orit and Zubin. Thank you so much. From Ethiopia all the way to Dubai, from cones to cups, that episode was incredible. Don't forget to support Boon and support Scoopi. They're both at Time Out Market Dubai, and treat yourself to something super special. Now, gang, as always, don't forget to follow, share, and subscribe to the show. And make sure you hit that all-important subscribe button on YouTube. As always, a massive thank you to you for listening, and you've stayed till the very, very end of the show. You absolute legend. So until next time, food is memories.